So, how does it feel 1 year on from the death of a loved one? So that's what today's video is about. So yesterday, actually, the 18th of October, marked 1 year since the passing of my dad in tragic and criminal circumstances. So we marked that yesterday with, family meal. That was nice. So that was a fitting way to remember him. So just wanted to do just a quick video really about what it's been like and what I guess I can distill my three overarching main feelings into three feelings. So, which are frustration, sadness, obviously, and the third one is resentment. So I'll save resentment till last. So frustration. Well, let's start with sadness. That's a natural place to start. This was the first time in my life that someone very close to me had died. That's something that nearly all of us have to go through in our lives, the loss of a loved one. And obviously there's nothing that can prepare you for that. You're propelled into this scary, new, terrifying reality. And all of the fear and the confusion and the sadness and the grief and the anger and the other thing, the resentment, which I'll come to, the sadness, the sense of loss, just everything is very, very confusing. And I don't think that 1 year is a particularly long time, actually, in the whole bereavement process. Obviously, it's something that's going to be very particular to each individual person. The sadness, obviously, with the circumstances in which my dad died, i.e. killed by the Pfizer booster, and I can't say that enough times to people, and I'll come to that in a minute, but killed by the Pfizer booster, someone who's perfectly healthy, who'd been real value to society, a strong family man, brought up, I think, my brother and sister, pretty good people, very generous, very loyal, very forgiving man, just, cut down for no reason whatsoever on the basis of a lie. So just wanted to say those kind words about my dad, because that really was who he was, gentle as well is the other word that I would use. And when someone like that is lost from the world becomes a darker place, doesn't it? It becomes a worse place. And here's where the frustration element of it comes in. As I've said on many occasions, and as many of you know, he died as a result of getting that jab. And around that time, October 2021, throughout this whole lie of the last few years, there've been points that there's been a real shift in the awakening process. There's been a real shift in the lies being exposed. And around then, that was a significant time. And a significant time in that public perception starting to shift. People going, I'm not sure about this. Or actually refusing or declining to go and get their booster. That process started about a year ago with the general public. And I firmly believe, and I know I'm not the only one, that literally a matter of days, the doubts would have started creeping in with my dad. Days, I reckon. And he would have got to that point where, he would have just gone, He wouldn't have got involved in the, like me, going down all the rabbit holes and uncovering all the lies and, talking about the evil that's stalking the world and all the rest of it, which it is. He wouldn't have done that, but he just would have gone, I'm not doing this anymore. We didn't do the lockdowns. He was the only one, actually. I did the lockdowns at first, only for a couple of weeks, but Dad didn't. You know, he knew. He knew that there's no price too high to pay for seeing your own family. So again, mark of a man, but he did go and get the jabs because he thought he was doing the right thing. He was of that generation. But a matter of days, he would have gone, oh, do you know what? I don't know. And then as time would have gone on, he wouldn't have touched it with a barge pole. He wouldn't have. So that's the frustrating thing, you know, is the sadness, the frustration that close, the resentment. Let me say up front, I do feel resentful. And I know that resentment is not a healthy emotion, but I do feel it. And if I don't say I don't feel resentful, I'm not telling the truth. I feel resentful. Why do I feel resentful? Well, first of all, because all these people who've been harmed from the jabs, and we're talking millions, aren't we? They didn't have enough social proof around them to open up particularly older people, open up their minds to the possibility that going to get the jab might have been a poor decision. Because the people around them were mostly obedient fools. The people around them were mostly, and they were foolish. It was the height of foolishness, the behaviour and the decisions that people have made in the last couple of years, you know, foolish to the extreme, based out of coming from a place of real kind of lack of discernment for truth, which I'll come to in a minute. So resentment that there weren't more people who were dissenting voices like I was. That's the first, which meant that there was really only me at the start, and then more people as time went on who started to question. You know, and by the point he got his booster, there was a lot of a lot of my family and friends were on board, but there still weren't enough people in my dad's life to make him, maybe he just started to doubt it, I don't know, but to make him properly, that crucial doubt that needs to be shown. Doubt is one of the most important concepts, most important phenomena that in life, in existence, is doubt. To be able to doubt, because doubt leads to questions, questions lead to answers, you know, questions lead to truth, questions expose lies, questions open up conversation. That's all because of doubt, you know. So, but even more so, the resentment, because, you know, this is a year and a day now after my dad's death, and I do feel resentment for this reason, above all else. Most people still haven't even acknowledged it. Genuinely, they haven't. Now, I don't want or expect people to fight our corner, you know? To go out holding up yellow signs, like what I've done, going to police stations, going on protests, sending emails, doing YouTube videos, whatever, writing letters. If they did, that'd be nice if they did, but that's not their job, that's not their responsibility. Everyone's got their own lives, I get that. But I tell you what, right? A basic acknowledgement of something that is explicitly true has been missing. It's not come, and we're a year and a day into this. Now, what does that tell you about people? What does that tell you about society? Because I tell you what it tells me, it's a society that is lacking in introspection, largely. It's a society that's lacking in courage, and it's a society that broadly has very little relationship with the thing that we call truth. It's offensive, it's insulting, and it's a lie. So I'm surrounded by this lie still. A lie that resulted in the death of my dad, and a lie that's resulted in his death not being respected, and his life therefore not being respected. A basic acknowledgement. Not what I said was right, even though it was. Obviously, as I've said before, to anyone with a an ounce of ability to discern what a lie is and what truth might be. I don't want that. But just an acknowledgement. My dad is one of the official statistics that the MHRA have got of people who died as a result of one of the COVID jabs. I mean, that's underreported, but he is one of those statistics. Nothing. And I mean nothing from the vast majority of people. Radio silence, head in sand. Just acknowledge it. And acknowledge you were lied to. And acknowledge the part that your participation and compliance with this lie has brought about in society. Because as I've argued, and as I do argue, we all made this society. We're all responsible for the problems. I am, you are, they are. But some people make an attempt, I truly believe, to discern truth and lies. And others, most, simply don't care what's true and don't care what's a lie. So if that means that they're more comfortable in their own little lives living in the worst lie that's ever been told, that's what they will do, and that's what they are doing. So that's why I'm resentful. And it does eat away at me, you know. And the other aspect to that is the for these people, they've woken up, and most people have. I've talked about this. Most people know now. They know they were lied to. They know we were right. Not even a bit right. You know, we were right about everything. Everything. They know. But they carry on burying their head in the sand, still getting the mortgage, still pay the mortgage, you know, still at the house, you know, just keep it, all that misery and suffering's taking place, but, you know, we're okay. For these people, it's only going to be, the only thing that'll spur them into action is when true misery arrives on their doorstep, suffering, whether that's, well, I don't want to talk about what that might be. And then what do? Shrug our shoulders and say, well, what do we say? I told you so. I mean, what do we say after this amount of time? And also, if that then does spur them into action, whatever that may be, that's not truth, is it? Because truth isn't something, truth is something that you have to search for. It's something you have to discern. It's something you have to uncover, unravel. It's something that you spend your life trying to find. So if the worst does happen to people and then that somehow spurs them into action, that's not as a result of their search for truth. It's just because misery's come to their door. They didn't care about other people's misery. But now it's them. That'll be the thing. And that's actually what's going to happen this winter. Well, it's starting already, isn't it? I mean, we can see that again. It's blatantly and painfully obvious now. So they're the feelings that I have, and it's good actually that I think I make sense of them. I can understand them, because I don't want to feel angry and resentment. I don't really feel anger, but I do feel resentment, and I don't like feeling resentful, but I can't help it at the moment. But I feel like I understand it, so I can deal with it. If that makes sense, you know, it's not. I said it before; it was eating away at me, and it does, but not to the point where it's going to destroy me. At all, in fact, not at all. I am, you know, there's a lot of things that are going well, you know, in life as well as these continuing heartache and challenges and frustrations and all the rest of it, you know. So, but just to wrap up, you know, as I say, I pay tribute to my dad at the start of this video, and you know, I have to remember the best way for me to pay tribute to him, I guess, is to continue his legacy in whichever way I can by, you know, living through his best values, which were duty, loyalty, and forgiveness. Duty, loyalty, and forgiveness. I think I have a sense of duty. I think I am loyal. I'm very loyal. Forgiveness. I'm sorry. I'm not ready to forgive. I won't forgive, or certainly forget, but I won't forgive until people apologise. And I will say that till I'm blue in the face, until they finally do. So there we go. My next video I'm going to do is going to be like an introspective type video, because I feel like it's about time I held myself to account. I've not done one of those videos for a while, and I've said for a while I'm going to do one. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to do a video about how I am a product of this society, and how a lot of the things that I talk about, you know, the decadence, maybe a little bit of the convenience, and sometimes lack of responsibility, how, you know, that's me as well. So I want to talk about how I'm a product of this society, and the ways in which I need to really try to live a better life at the moment as well. So anyway, today's video was about my dad. You know, rest in peace wherever you are, Dad. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye bye.